You sit down for tea, ready to map out the next 2 years, and your Class 10 student says something completely unexpected. They want to drop the safe science path and choose commerce or arts instead. That immediate drop in your stomach is entirely normal. Your mind races, worrying they are making a permanent mistake that will close doors and limit their future options. That intense worry does not come from a need to control. It comes from love. You want them to be safe, to succeed, and to avoid waking up 10 years from now regretting their choice. But that fierce, protective instinct often triggers a reflex. You say no immediately. You assume they are too young to understand how the real world works, so you dismiss the idea outright. This diagram illustrates what happens when fear dictates that first reaction. The conversation breaks, turning a shared search for clarity into a stubborn family conflict where the child stops communicating entirely. To fix that break, we have to look at the exact same academic decision through the eyes of the student. When they push back against the expected path, they are rarely trying to defy you. This is not teenage rebellion. They are looking for a place where their brain naturally works. They want subjects where they feel competent, and they are instinctively trying to avoid a path that feels forced or artificial to them. While your primary goal is to secure their safety, their primary goal is to find their personal fit and identity. You aren't actually fighting each other. You are both trying to solve the exact same high-stakes problem. You are just evaluating it using two entirely different sets of criteria. This is where the dynamic has to shift. Instead of leading with panic at the dinner table, you can consciously choose to lead with intentional curiosity. Instead of saying, "You don't know anything about the real world yet," you ask them to walk you through their reasoning. You say, "Okay, help me understand why you want this." When a child feels their perspective is being taken seriously, their need to defend a position usually lessens. As the defensive walls drop, they can articulate their genuine interests with more honesty. Listening with empathy is crucial, but it is only the first step. Simply accepting a teenager saying, "I like this," is not enough data for a decision that will shape their career. Your curiosity needs to serve as a bridge. It opens the door so you can collaboratively run a rigorous stress test on their unexpected choice. This process shows how every preference has to be filtered through reality. We have to test the raw idea to ensure the choice is sustainable and informed, rather than a fleeting impulse. So you ask the first diagnostic question: is this a temporary mood influenced by friends, or is it a consistent interest that has shown up repeatedly over time? Next, you evaluate the foundation. Is this desire backed by actual comfort with the subjects, a natural aptitude for the material, and the motivation to study it for hours on end? Finally, you check their understanding of the path ahead. Do they truly comprehend the academic pressure, the harsh realities, and the sheer effort this specific route will demand? Running this specific evaluation completely changes the mood in the room. You move away from an emotional argument and start working on a logical, shared project. These 3 targeted questions provide a structure to distinguish between valid parental worry and a child's actual potential for success. That initial clash at the dinner table is not a disaster. It is a completely normal, necessary step toward making a mature decision. This diagram illustrates what the correct academic stream actually looks like. It is rarely the exact path you imagined when they were younger. Instead, it is the center point where their personal fit, their daily motivation, and realistic future possibilities all align. When you achieve that alignment, you have successfully merged your absolute need for their safety with their absolute need for identity. At this pivotal Class 10 juncture, the real objective is identifying the specific environment where your child will thrive. At this moment, the most helpful form of parenting is providing the clarity and understanding your child needs to move forward. To get that clarity, you have to look beyond basic school marks. You need to evaluate stream fit using objective assessments that measure multiple signals at once. Families can map out the right future together without the emotional guesswork. All it takes is the right structured guidance.